So it's an F-150 Lightning, 2022 model. So obviously it's all electric. I went with the one because when you buy them from Ford, you can have a choice of batteries. So I chose the larger battery because obviously in town we're a little further away from things. So I have a bit more range than the sort of standard, I guess, F-150 Lightning. It's the Lariat version, so it's a little bit more premium. Obviously you can see the screen and other sort of items that you would not normally get in the regular one. And other than that, yeah, pretty standard.
And when did you get it?
Oh yeah, so I got it August 2022. So that was a year and a bit ago now.
And so you've been through a full winter with it already. I wonder if you can tell me a little bit about how that went.
Yeah, so the full winter, I have been through the full winter, and last winter obviously was a little colder than this current winter. So the concern, of course, is with batteries in the cold, they lose some of their capacity. And last year at minus 48 or so, like minus 48, minus 50, I ended up losing 55% of my battery capacity, which was a fair amount, but it still left me with around 200 kilometers of driving, I suppose, in the dead of winter. So I was pretty happy with that. I mean, obviously it's not something I could drive out of town with, but...
Has range ever been an issue for you?
The only time it's been an issue is, of course, during evacuation, because I was not able to drive the truck out of town during evacuation. But other than that, not really, I would say. It's good enough for me for bombing around out to the the Ingram Trail and out to the campgrounds and stuff and whatnot for the summer. And then, of course, in town, everything's within a few kilometers, so it's not too big of a deal.
Last winter also wasn't as cold as it usually is. Do you remember any days when it went down to minus 30, and do you remember what your truck was like on those days?
In terms of winter driving, it's awesome. Like it just turns on and it goes. I did need to plug in obviously a bit more than I would have normally in the summer, but that's typical of anything really. You run it more in the winter because it's cold out.
So I noticed you have an electric vehicle charger at your home, and I wonder, can you tell us a bit about the process of getting the electric vehicle charger installed at home?
Yes. So I guess I don't need to get too much into it, but it's a bit of a bureaucratic mess when it comes to getting actual proper chargers installed in the Northwest Territories. The charger that came with this vehicle that I would have installed, I guess, required me to pay in a certain amount of dollars to Northland Utilities before I could actually get the permit to do it. So yeah, so that's not awesome. But I did find a way around it. I bought a cheap charger from Canadian Tire or from wherever, and Arctic Energy Alliance gave me a few dollars back for it, and I got my electrician to just wire it in. But it's not the one that I guess would have came with the truck, in a sense, because of I don't need to get into it, but it is an issue, I think, when it comes to EV adoption. There needs to be some work in the government to sort those small detailed issues out.
Is there part of this truck that is like the coolest thing for you? The thing that you like showing off the most?
Well, I mean, of course, the frunk is like the party trick, as I like to call it, where there's a ton of space just up front I put all my groceries in there, actually, like you would normally in a trunk of a vehicle kind of thing. In terms of vehicle, the F-150 Lightning is today, anyways, the fastest F-150 they've made. So it's very quick. Obviously, I can't show you on the snow and ice, but it does 0 to 60 in 3.9 seconds, which is really quick for a heavy truck. Yeah, it's awesome. Oh, I can say the other cool thing is actually that it has a ton of power. So when I pull my trailer out to the campground, I can power my entire trailer for weeks on end without a generator, which is cool. Like for the summer, I pulled my trailer out to Reed Lake, which is about 150 kilometer round trip, and I just plug it into the back. No generator to start up, nothing to fool around with. Powers my entire camper for more than a week, weeks on end. So that's also very cool.
With the federal announcement, boosting the manufacturing of electric vehicles in hopes of phasing out gas-powered vehicles, like, what do you think? How is that going to play out in the north? Do you think?
I don't know.
ball.
I don't know. My honest opinion is that the government is jumping the ball a little bit in a sense of pushing it down, like just kind of mandating it. They're putting the horse before the cart in a sense, because and it goes back to the previous thing about Northland Utilities not necessarily having the infrastructure to necessarily handle, a huge increase in power. So I'm not 100% sure, I guess, but like I said, I think that there should have been more forethought in putting dollars into infrastructure before sort of mandating that it has to be this way.